What is going on, crew? My name is Andrew. Welcome back to a brand new exciting video. Welcome back to the first video of this week. As you guys probably know, I post Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays every single week, so thank you for tuning in. Today we are talking about this super cool pixel distortion transition effect. Now, full disclosure, I just want to say I originally got this idea from a YouTuber named Ryan Nangle. He does a bunch of cool tutorials for Final Cut Pro 10, and every once in a while I like to take those tutorials and show you guys how to do a similar effect inside of After Effects. That being said, guys, I think I've rambled on quite enough, so let's hop into After Effects and start talking about this super cool effect. All right, everybody, so I'm inside of Adobe Premiere Pro now, and it's time to start talking about how to do this effect. Now, I've got a couple different clips here. First clip I got is a shot of Josiah, my good friend, running in the rain, and then I've got a shot of this flag waving majestically in the wind. And as always, guys, there's going to be a link in the description to download these clips so you can follow along. Real quick, guys, we actually have a sponsor for this video, which is Storyblocks Audio. Later on in this video, I use their sound effects and music to really finish up this effect. They have an amazing online library filled with studio quality sound effects and music. And if you guys want, you can click the link in the description to learn more about this super awesome tool, which is Storyblocks Audio. I want to point out something really quick. I did choose this footage purposefully. I thought this sort of like rainy day vibe would fit really well with this glitch effect. We're kind of in the city, it's raining, it's kind of moody, and I just feel like footage like this works really well for a glitch distortion effect. So the first thing we're going to do is just create a solid layer. To do this, I'm going to hit Control Y on PC or Command Y on Mac, and I'm just going to call this map. Go ahead and hit OK, and then I'm going to add the effect fractal noise. I'm going to go and change the fractal type from basic to turbulent smooth. Go over to the contrast and change that from 100 to about 150. Bring down the brightness to -10. And then we're going to go down to the transform option and then make sure you uncheck uniform scaling. Usually in After Effects, when you scale anything up, you're scaling the height and the width together at the same time, so the ratio and proportions stay constant, they stay the same. But when you uncheck this, you can scale the width or the height individually on their own. So we're going to take the width and we're going to move it all the way to 20, all the way down as low as it can go, and then the height, and we're going to scale that way up, all the way to 600 as far as it can go. That's all we have to do for the fractal noise, so we can go ahead and turn off this map. And now we're going to add an adjustment layer. Hit Control-Alt-Y on PC or Command-Alt-Y on Mac, and we're going to add the displacement map feature to this adjustment layer. The displacement map layer we're going to choose is the map layer, and then make sure you choose source, effects, and mask. And now when we start messing around with these proportions, you can see we get these really weird, cool looking glitching effects. Now this looks pretty cool, and what you could do is just go through and keyframe and animate that to kind of come on and then come off. But one of the cool things about this transition is when you start to mess around with just individual parts of the footage, just glitching those individual parts. So what we're going to do is actually delete this adjustment layer. We're going to go down to this running footage, duplicate it. We'll turn off the bottom layer for now, and we're going to add the Luma key effect. And let's just try keying out some of these darker parts. Let's actually try the brighter aspects. Let's see what that would look like. I think that looks pretty cool. So we can go ahead and turn on the bottom layer now. And now we'll do the same thing we just did. Add the displacement map effect, choose the map layer, source, effects, and mask. And now when we glitch it, you can see we're just glitching those parts of the image. And that's the look that I personally like, when you're just glitching different individual parts of it. I don't know about you, I think that looks pretty cool. Now, one thing that I forgot to do is we actually need to go back to our map layer, and we need to animate this a bit, because right now it's static, it's not moving at all. To animate it, we've got to mess around with this evolutions tab. What we're gonna do is we're gonna hold down Alt and click the stopwatch, and we're gonna use a super simple expression. All you have to type, time, asterisk, opening parentheses, 250, closing parentheses. And now you can see we've got all this different kind of movement going on inside of the clip. We're going to change this to 2500. Let's see what that looks like. There we go, that's a little bit more glitchy. Now the other thing I want to add an expression to is the complexity. So I'm going to add the exact same expression. Time, 2500, closing parentheses, click out. And now you can see it's a little bit more of a glitching sort of look. Cool, cool, cool. So now all we have to do is a bit of animation. We'll go down to the Luma key, keyframe the threshold at 0. We'll move into the end of the clip about there, and we'll bring it up to 68. I'm going to change our quality to third so it plays through a little bit quicker. And actually what I'm going to do is have the 68 come on to about there, and then right at the end I kind of just wanted to go crazy and just do like pretty much the whole clip. Maybe I'll have it go a little bit longer. Something like that looks pretty cool. And now we do pretty much the exact same thing to the next clip, just reverse it. So we'll duplicate it, go up, grab our Luma key and displacement map, paste it right on top. Now, if you ever want to just reverse keyframes, but you don't want to go through obviously and do it by hand, you can select all the keyframes, right click, go to keyframe assistant, and then time reverse keyframes, and it's just going to reverse those really quickly and automatically. So there you go, guys. Now you've got a super cool distortion effect. Now there's a couple more things I'm going to add real quick. This is a zoom in transition, so we're going to do a quick zooming. We'll go ahead and pre-compose this. Move all attributes, cool. I always like to trim my pre-comps. Pre-compose. Perfect. Go ahead and add a scale keyframe, move to the end. We'll scale into 200. Go to the next clip. We'll add motion tile effect. I'm kind of rushing through this part because I've done a full tutorial on smooth transitions in the past. I go over this stuff in a lot more detail. We'll go ahead and scale this out to 50. But real quick, I'm just gonna go into the graph editor, do a couple of tweaks. Perfect, boom, nice. All right, cool, that's looking pretty good. The last thing we're gonna do just to complete that is add some motion blur. CC, force motion blur is the best. So that looks pretty good. You can mess around with that a little bit more, but I think that works for this tutorial. And now we're just gonna do a couple more tweaks, man. It's all about refining. What I'm gonna do is add the RGB effect. The way I like to do RGB is add the tint effect, map black to red, map white to somewhere like blue, and then add the emboss effect, and then change the blend mode to linear light. And now you can see, if you look, you know, right there, you can see that little bit of RGB, and it doesn't have to be a lot. Really, it should be subtle. So we'll just go ahead and add it like that. Keyframe the relief, go to about here, and we'll bring the relief down to 0, and then here we'll bring it down to 0 again. So now we should sort of have that just slowly fade onto the sides. It's subtle. I think it adds to the glitching feel of the video. All right, cool. So this is looking pretty good. Real quick, I'm gonna throw on a quick color grade. I might have gone a little bit overboard, but I gave it a little bit of like a sort of matrix kind of vibe. And now I'm back in Premiere, and I'm gonna select this clip, and we're gonna render it through by going up to sequence and selecting render selection. So it just rendered through. That looks pretty sick to me, but it is missing something. There's definitely something we need. Two things to be exact. We need music, and we need sound effects. The super cool thing about Storyblocks Audio is that you get unlimited access to studio quality sound effects, music, audio clips, and everything like that. It can be such a pain to find good, high quality sound effects and music for your videos when you're on a budget. I don't have enough money to be like dishing out money to license clips and license sound effects and things like that for my videos. I just don't. All the content is royalty free, so you can use it both for personal projects such as YouTube, but you can also use it for commercial projects, which is actually really rare. So it's really nice to know you're 100% in the clear if you use it for personal or commercial projects. And new clips and new sounds are added on the regular, so there's always something fresh for you to download. So click on the link in the description to learn more about Storyblocks Audio. But for now, I'm actually gonna hop onto my account and download a couple sound effects and music to use for this effect. So I just grabbed a song and a few different sound effects right off of Storyblocks Audio. I like this song. I clicked synth on the site, and this is one of the ones that came up. I wanted to go a little bit more like 80s, Stranger Thingsy, kind of electronic, moody. You guys know what I mean? You probably know what I mean. Cool, that looks pretty good. Now we're gonna add in some sound effects to make this thing come alive. That sounds pretty cool. This is perfect. All right, so I'm so stoked about this. That took like 5 minutes. I snagged all these sounds off of Storyblocks Audio. Let's play through the after and see what you guys think. Boom, that's what I'm talking about. Does that not look sick or what? I think of it as a more fluid and like natural and just realistic glitch effect. You can do some cool stuff isolating just different pixels inside of the frame, and overall I think it's a unique effect. It's not an overused effect, and I think it's one that you should definitely have in your internal arsenal of transitions. So it's a good one to keep in the back of your mind. I hope you guys did enjoy this tutorial. If you did, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments down below what kind of tutorials you guys want to see in the future. I'm always looking for new ideas and things like that, and I want to make videos that you guys actually enjoy. So let me know what you guys want to see down in the comments below. As always, guys, be sure to follow me on Instagram at AndrewJMES. One of my goals, one of my passions for 2019 is to improve my photography. So I'm kind of posting my journey in photography on my Instagram. So be sure to follow me over there if you guys are interested in stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Thank you for tuning in. Like I've said previously, I post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So be sure to tune back in on Wednesday. Get outside, film a video, and make a difference, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.